So today we're messing around with my 1992 Ford F150 with a 5.0 liter V8. It starts like trash, takes forever to start. You know, it seems to run pretty good, but every time I put it into reverse, or sometimes if I stop too soon, it just kills the engine. So I feel like it's idling a bit low. Maybe the transmission needs a little bit of fluid. I haven't really done any major repairs to it other than rats got into the wiring harness about 3 or 4 years ago and I had to repair a bunch of stuff. But anyway, it's been about 10 years since I've messed with it. So listen to how it starts. And believe it or not, that is one of its better starts. The agenda for today is I want to check the transmission fluid level. It used to mark its territory, doesn't mark its territory so much anymore, so maybe enough is leaked out. I will not have enough fluid pressure, but also idle, throttle body, idle air control valve, and the air filter. So just because we have to start somewhere, let's just open up the air cleaner. Oh my gosh, that was tight. Oh, that was really tight. I do not have a memory of when I last looked at my air cleaner here. This is an old work truck of mine. I bought it for 500 bucks. Spent maybe another 500 bucks getting it going, you know, back in like 2012 or so. Used it, and then now it's just like whenever I need to haul stuff, I'll fire it up, get it registered and inspected. But for the most part, I just pretend it doesn't exist. Now I'm also going to just take it off over here because I want to see what the throttle body looks like, because I hadn't cleaned it in a decade. With all that loose, let's just get it out of the way, take a peek. So let's start with the air filter. Ooh, okay, well, that's very bad. Looks like there's a rat nest in there too. Yeah, that's quite a bit of rat nest. Oh my. So it's hard to see down into the throttle body, but it actually looks pretty good. So I think that's good to go. Let's use a shop vac and get all that crap out of there. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum this out so I can drive this vehicle to the auto parts store and buy an air filter for it. All right, so this filter right here is like the PCV valve filter, the positive crankcase ventilation filter. It's been totally gobbled up by something. So if they have that at the auto parts store, I'm going to get one of those as well. All right, let's just see what banging out the air filter will do for this thing. Okay, well, doesn't start any better. That's good to know. Let's see if it dies in reverse on me. Bogs down a bit, but doing okay. It does have a little bit more get up and go. That's okay. I can't believe I let the air filter go for so long. But as I said, this truck, what this truck is this? It's my $500 truck. You know, it's just this thing in the background that sometimes when I want to use it, I'll leave it parked for years, and it always starts, man. I mean, everyone's like, Ford found on the road dead, but this 1992 like F-150 that I literally bought off of a farmer for 500 bucks, it was sitting in his field for 7 years when I got it. You know, it just goes. It goes for me. Again, it's not a daily driver. It's just a thing. Yeah, there's a bit more power. You know, but yeah, I think everyone talking trash about Ford, they're right on some level. Like the wires are delicious to rats. Every time I let this thing sit more than 6 months out of my dad's acreage, you know, critters move into it and they just gut it, you know, eating all the wires. Oh man. All right, let's get in reverse. Oh, we still stalled. Okay, so that's what's happening. You put it in reverse, then it wants to die. So we'll do the old feather the gas trick, and we'll just get it parked, my dudes. Ah, yeah. I'm at the old Riley's. Ooh, parking under a short tree apparently. Alright, so here's the new filter. Gorgeous, clean. You know, I'm just going to swap it out. They didn't have the positive crankcase ventilation filter in stock. They'll be here tomorrow morning. Alright, so we're cutting to the next day. We are going to take care of this filter here. This is the positive crankcase ventilation filter. So basically the crankcase will suck air through this filter into the engine, and then the PCV valve out into the intake, and then reburn whatever blow-by gases you get past the engine. So let's see if I can figure out how to do this. I'm going to disconnect this tube first, and then this piece of metal pulls out, and then this thing slides off. So we got the new one here, and so this clip, it just clips it in place right like that. So I'm going to stick that in there. Maybe I can slide the clip down across that. Get it all in one go. So this isn't just for emissions. Having your PCV valve working properly helps keep your oil from looking like it came out of a diesel. I'm having trouble doing it all at once, so I'm just going to slide that clamp down. Then I'm going to just force this clip on it. Say that. I don't want to break it. Everything's pretty brittle. There it is. So that's reconnected. And now we can be sure that we're not going to suck any more rat poop into the engine. I'm going to have to do an oil change, I think, because the amount of stuff that was there without that filter, it was sucking all sorts of debris in, for sure. I just want to take a look at the idle air control valve. I cleaned this maybe 10 years ago. I don't remember exactly how I took it apart, but I'm going to see if I open it up. So there's a couple screws on this thing. Let's see if that'll get us into it. Everything's hot because I was just driving it. Yeah. There's the bottom screw. Put that someplace safe-ish. I'm going to lose them. So I've never replaced this. They were pretty cheap when I bought the truck. But right now, I don't know what they cost. Is that how you get into that? Maybe. So let's see if we can get this O-ring out. Don't lose it, buddy. It feels really free in there. It might be fine. So I just want to lay my eyes on this thing, see what it's like right now. Because it's been quite a while. Looks like a 5/16 is what it requires. Yeah, shorter extension gets it. I just want to lay my eyes on this thing because when I cleaned it, you know, 10 or 11 years ago, however long ago it was totally packed full of carbon. And it took some doing to free it up. You know, the intake manifold looks a whole lot better, so maybe it's not an issue, but it'd just be nice just to see it. Okay, so I'm not like 1000% sure how this thing works, but this pin here, it pushes in, and so it must, you know, it takes air from in front of the butterfly valve to behind the butterfly valve to help it idle. And so this thing moves here. Now this part, listen, it sounds like it's free, so I'm just going to use some throttle body air intake cleaner and just sort of ensure that it's not too ruined, I guess. But it sure does sound free to me. Very little, but I think that moves. Now this part here, I'll try cleaning it out a bit, but it doesn't look like the carbon buildup I remember from when I did it forever ago. So I think this is a-okay. I'm just going to put it back together and let it be its own thing. I'm going to take this old worn out O-ring. I'm going to install this thing like that. You know what, actually let's actually just try to do a good job on something for once. Bound to have an O-ring that's kind of similar in here somewhere. I have these two kits, and I also have like a master O-ring kit. Now that looks pretty similar. Let's see how that slides on there. Yeah, I like that one. We'll go with that. Oh yeah, that'll give it a little squish. Okay, so we'll go ahead and replace an O-ring there. Alright, so I'm just gonna install this whole thing with filter with whatever the hell that is, a gasket. Just live confidently knowing that it seemed to be a-okay. And if it is a problem, last time I priced one of these, I swear it was $22. So it's not that big of a deal. It is a service part, but it sounds like it's free and it wants to move, so I'm just gonna roll with it. Let's just see if it'll start. Well, still starts like shit, doesn't it? I'm gonna go ahead and check the transmission fluid, just see if it's low. The dipstick is totally dry, dudes. But luckily I have prepared for this day. I have some ATF in a cooler. Don't ask where this came from. I borrowed it because the truck gives it back. But getting in that tube, oh my God. Oh, and a long funnel. Well, it appears that I spilled a little bit. Let's see if we're on the dipstick yet. Sweet baby Jesus, not yet. We're a couple quarts in. I think that's all I'm going to stick in there because I'm running low. Just, nearly a gallon, not a big deal. Still smoking a bit. Well, let's test drive it. Let's see if we can, maintain idle at reverse. Oh, power steering pump says, I'm hungry too. This truck leaks fucking everywhere. Ooh, that was a smooth shift. Let's put it in reverse. It's holding. So maybe some combination of air filter being totally screwed and being, 3/4 of a gallon or more low on automatic transmission fluid was my main problem. It feels like it's got a good amount of power again. I'm enjoying it. Well, hell, I don't know. Was that really the problem? Just neglect? Of course it is, right? Let's see if we can chirp the tires. Oh, nice. Hadn't been able to do that in a minute either. Oh, Lord. Okay, well, if I have another problem with it stalling, you can also adjust the idle. I mean, it's basically you're just propping open the butterfly valves a bit. Oh, Jesus! Lost you there, dudes. So I'm gonna return home before the cops realize that I'm out being an asshole in my pickup truck. We're still blowing up a lot of smoke off the engine. Oh my God. And it's getting into gear quicker, so it definitely wanted some transmission fluid. So, whoops. Now, this thing had set for two inspection years, 2 registration years it had set. And then when my girlfriend, I was moving my girlfriend in, we needed a truck, so I pulled it out and got it going again. But now, more life changes. My mom, who has run an art gallery and studio space for 12 years, she hasn't made any money since COVID hit. Well, she's made a little bit of money, but she's been paying out of pocket part of her rent for like 2 years now. She's moving out of her studio, and she's gonna go back to the way she used to do it at her home studio, because that whatever it is, $1,500–$1,600 a month rent, that's starting to hit kind of hard because she's a retired school teacher. And then also, I'm planning on getting back on my ferrous cement project, you know, the house build. Let's trip the tires one more time. You ready? It's gonna be sweet. Oh shit, my guys. Air filter makes a lot of difference on that. That's not all that impressive for burned out tires, but we're talking like I have no idea how many miles are on this thing because it's got a salvage title, right? And so its odometer says 233,000, but it's you know, salvage title. It's whatever it is, 30 years old. Who knows? We might be pushing a 5.0 with a few 100,000 miles or more on it. I don't know. But anyways, I think we've done it. Let's one more time. Reverse. It's just idling away. What if I roll and stop? No, I think we got it. So I don't know if that's useful to anybody. Air filter's bad. Looking at an idle air control valve that didn't need looking at, and be low on transmission fluid. But hey, the truck is back. Nice, right? So anyways, you guys be good. Catch you on the next one.